Today, we are going to learn how to compare decimals. Donovan ran the 100-meter race in 10 and 1100 seconds. Sal ran the same race in 10 and 900 seconds. Who ran the faster time? So we have, and we really have to make sure that we're saying the decimals correctly, 10 and 11 hundredths and 10 and 9 hundredths. When we compare decimals or any number, we always want to start with the greatest place value. In this case, it's the tens place. We have a 1 in both tens place, so we cannot compare those. We have a 0 in both ones place, so we cannot compare those. Now we move over to the tenths place. We have a 1 here and a 0 here. Since 1 is greater than 0, then 10 and 11 hundredths is going to be greater than 10 and 9 hundredths. But if it's asking who ran faster, that's going to be the person who ran the shorter amount. So whoever ran 10 and 9 hundredths ran it in a faster time because it is less time. So make sure that you are answering the question based on what it is asking. 10 and 11 hundredths is greater than 10 and 9 hundredths, but 10 and 9 hundredths would be faster than 10 and 11 hundredths. Let's look at way B. They're having you use a hundredths grid. So if we're looking at a hundredths grid, we have 11 hundredths here and we have 9 hundredths there. Therefore, it tells you 10 and 11 hundredths is greater than 10 and 9 hundredths. Also, Sal, who ran 10 and 9 hundredths, ran the faster time because his time is less. Another way is to use place value, just like I showed you. And then the last way, you can start at the left and compare each place value, which is exactly what I just showed you as well. All right, let's look at the convince me. It says write 4 different digits in the blank spaces to make each comparison true. Explain your reasoning. So we want to find out that point something 7 is going to be greater than point something 8. Well, since it has to be greater, then the greater digit needs to be next to the 7. So we can place a 2 here and a 1 here. This way, 27 hundredths is greater than 18 hundredths. Now let's look at the next one. We have 5 tenths and then something 0.9. So we can put a 1 here. 51 hundredths would be greater than 29 hundredths. There's other numbers you can use, but when you're comparing them, we're looking at our tenths place, and the 5 is going to be greater than the 2. In this one, we're also looking at the tenths place. Our 2 is going to be greater than the 1. Now let's look at another example. Compare 23 hundredths and 32 hundredths. If I look over here, 23 hundredths have 2 tenths and 3 ones, where 32 hundredths have 3 tenths and 2 ones. So 32 hundredths is going to be greater. If we look in our tenths place, we have a 3, and this one has a 2. All right, do you understand? Pi says 20 hundredths is greater than 2 tenths because 20 is greater than 2. Do you agree? Explain. Well, no, I do not agree because 0.20 is the same thing as 0.2. 0.20 would be 20 out of 100. 0.2 or 2 tenths would be 20 out of 10. And if I add a 0 to each one, so add a 0 here, add a 0 here, I would still get 20 out of 100. So no, Chi is incorrect. All right, for 2 through 5, write greater than, less than, or equal to in each circle. Use place value, blocks, or grids as needed to compare. We're just going to use the method where we start from the left and underline. So we have 7 tenths or 70 hundredths and 57 hundredths. Well, in our tenths place, we have a 7 and a 5. Our 7 is greater than our 5. Therefore, 70 hundredths is greater. Look at number 3. In number 3, in our tens place, we have a 4 and a 1. 4 is greater than 1, so 41 hundredths is greater than 14 hundredths. You can also think of the decimals as money, and 41 cents would be greater than 14 cents. All right, look at number 4. Starting all the way to the left, we're going to compare our ones place. We have a 6 and a 7. Since 7 is greater than 6, 7 and 31 hundredths is going to be greater than 6 and 28 hundredths. You can also look at that as money. $6.28, $7.31. In number 5, 1 and 1/10, 1 and 10 hundredths. Well, if we can compare them, our ones places are the same, our tens places are the same, and then we have a 0. Therefore, these two would be equal. All right, you're going to go ahead and do the rest of the problems on this page, and then come see me.